So, with the fifth Hunger Games book coming out soon, I'm sure we've all heard of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by now, whether through the book or through the movie. I will be spoiling it, so if you haven't seen it yet, go do that now and come back. Trust me, it's worth the time. Suzanne Collins has very much done it again. She is a master of poignant social commentary for accessible stories and characters, and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is no exception. What stood out to me in this one is her commentary on human nature. To really get into that though, we need to talk about a couple of old philosophers first. Stay with me. Two guys, Hobbes and Rousseau, a pessimist and an optimist. Both of them were, quite weird. Rousseau, our optimist, wrote pretty much the first ever autobiography in which he confessed every single thing he ever did wrong. So there are, in fact, 700 pages of him describing all of his affairs and abandoned illegitimate children out there. Hobbes, the pessimist, isn't much better. He's kind of just a very sad guy, which is pretty understandable given that he lived through the English Civil War firsthand. But it's also incredibly annoying. Got it? More importantly for the Hunger Games, these two had conflicting opinions on one topic in particular: human nature. Rousseau thought that with or without society and laws, humans were actually pretty decent, or in his words, quote, "Man was born free and he is everywhere in chains." Hobbes, on the other hand, thought that life without society would be, quote, "solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short." Now, what does this have to do with A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? Well, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes follows Coriolanus Snow, who will later grow up to be President Snow, the main villain of the original Hunger Games trilogy. We learn about his youth and how he mentors a tribute called Lucy Gray for the 10th Hunger Games. The two of them fall in love, etc., etc., and after Lucy Gray survives the games, she goes back to District 12. Snow follows her as a peacekeeper, after being outed for helping her cheat in the games. The two of them consider running away together, but Snow backs out at the last minute. It's a lot more complicated than that, but for right now, that's all you need to know. Now, still remember Rousseau, the optimist? In this story, Lucy Gray is the embodiment of his ideas. Hear me out.
People aren't so bad. Not really. It's what the world does to them. Like all of us in the arena. I think there's a natural goodness born into us all. No, really. You can either cross that line into evil or not. And it's our life's work to stay on the right side of that line.
Man was born free and he is everywhere in chains. People aren't so bad, really, it's what the world does to them. You see my point? And Lucy Gray doesn't just agree with Rousseau, she acts on those principles. Even in the arena, a completely ungoverned environment, she only does what she has to. She's never violent past necessity, and she stays by her friend Jessup for as long as she can. But if Lucy Gray shows Rousseau's ideas, then who shows Hobbes's? Is it Snow? Not exactly. The character who most accurately embodies Hobbes is, in my opinion, Snow's mentor, Dr. Gore. If you remember, the Hunger Games uses a lot of mutated animals for their arenas, descendants of some animals used in the war. Gore is the mastermind behind these creatures. So why is Gore Hobbes? Well, for this, you just need to look at one moment, really.
What happened in there, that's humanity undressed. Fueled with the terror of becoming prey, see how quickly we become predator? See how quickly civilization disappears?
Those tributes don't have a choice.
I was talking about you. All your fine manners, education, background stripped away in the blink of an eye. Leaving a boy with a club who beats another boy to death to stay alive. You want to protect people, Mr. Snow, to govern them like your father, then it's essential you accept what human beings are and what it takes to control them.
Gaul, just like Hobbes, believes that humans are bad and the only thing keeping us in line are laws. Or in this case, the only thing reminding the people of their violence is the Hunger Games. If you're not convinced yet, all you really need to do is open your copy of the book to the first page. Both Hobbes and Rousseau are right there, quoted. But what does this all mean? What is Suzanne Collins trying to say? People have been arguing about these philosophers for as long as we've had their ideas. What's Suzanne Collins trying to contribute to that discussion? For that answer, I think we need to look at the ending. It's after the games, and Lucy Gray is running away into the forest. Snow follows her. As he says in the book, quote, he was not just going to live, he was going to live with her, as they had that day at the lake. He thought of the taste of the fresh fish, the sweet air, and the freedom to act however he wanted, as nature had intended. To answer to no one. To truly be rid of the world's oppressive expectations forever. So he becomes Rousseau, right? Snow falls in love with Lucy Gray and by consequence her ideas? Not quite. It gets a bit complicated here, but bear with me. Essentially, in the forest, Snow accidentally admits to killing his friend. Lucy Gray, upon hearing this, runs, understandably. Snow tries to kill her, and whether or not he succeeds is left pretty ambiguous. You see, even with Rousseau's more optimistic view of humanity, there are still bad people. People who only crave power and are convinced that that is all that anyone else wants too. These people are untrustworthy. They will throw anyone under the bus for power. And so they see everyone else that way too. And when you believe everyone is untrustworthy, you're going to treat them that way. This is how you get politicians and, eventually, dictators. I don't think Snow was always one of these people. I think he did, at least at some point, have the potential to be like Lucy Gray and live happily with her. At least until he met Gaul.
The president has agreed to another year of the games. People watched, and I have you to thank for that. But before I take you under my wing, after everything you've seen out there in the real world, let me ask you one final time. What are the Hunger Games for?
I used to think that the Hunger Games were punishment for the districts. Then I thought they served as a warning to us here in the capital about the threat the districts posed. Now I know the whole world is an arena. And we need the Hunger Games every year to remind us all who we truly are.
And who are you, do you determine?
The victor.
Welcome home, Mr. Snow.
Snow might have been okay. He might have believed that there could be a better life just by trusting in people. But then Gaul taught him that people are bad and they need the Hunger Games to remember that, and Snow became a dictator. To me, that's the moral. Even Snow, a child who grew up in a war and was surrounded by anger and strife for the majority of his life, could have been good if only he had trusted Lucy Gray over Dr. Gaul, if he trusted people and gave them the chance to trust him back. You see, I think that humans can be good or bad. It's up to us to decide. So I don't think it matters if Lucy Gray actually died, because her spirit lives on in Katniss and the Revolution regardless. She lives on in the belief that there could be a life better than one under the threat of the Hunger Games. And in the end, that hope does win. And that's something we have to believe in.